Good morning, everyone. We're going to be talking to you about a topic that we really care about, and we think that most of you are going to care about it too. Since statistically speaking, 1 in 10 of you is struggling with an invisible disability without even realizing it. And that's a problem, because what we can't see, we often ignore.
If you were to imagine the signs of a disability, you would probably picture a wheelchair, a cane, a hearing aid. But what about the ones you can't picture, the ones that don't come with a visible cue?
And that's precisely why we felt the need to shed light on these very real and too often dismissed or overlooked problems.
Invisible disabilities don't have obvious signs or markers. I mean, there's no cast, no wheelchair, no external reminder of the struggle.
And yet, the weight of these conditions could be just as heavy, if not heavier.
Actually, Marita has misophonia. It's a neurological condition where certain common sounds trigger a reflex. The reflex itself is very unpleasant and causes extreme negative emotions. So when triggered, a person can't concentrate on anything because of those extreme emotions. To try and make it more real, imagine that the sounds of just someone chewing is making you feel like you're trapped in a room that's shrinking.
It's not just about being irritated. When I get triggered, I can't focus on anything else because it's more of a physical and emotional assault. Before I even knew what misophonia was, I would constantly feel irrationally irritated or annoyed without even understanding why. I think, what kind of a daughter am I when I'd get genuinely frustrated every time my mom wants to fix her hair or my dad wants to drink water, or every time my sister drinks or breathes next to me. And even with my friends, like what type of friend leaves every time her friends want to eat or drink?
We would probably say an annoying one. But I see what you're saying. It's not the people, it's the sounds. And that distinction alone can change the guilt you might have felt to understanding.
Exactly. Even though I love my family and friends, the noise would just set me off. Finding out I had misophonia was actually kind of a relief in some ways. At least I know I wasn't going crazy.
Especially when, if you're not careful enough, you end up hurting people you care about without meaning to. So how do you make people understand something they can't see nor feel?
I mean, picture being in a class, being assaulted by the noises around you, and you can't leave because you'd be disrespectful, and you can't tell the people to stop because what they're doing is normal, but you're just getting frustrated. And the frustration builds up, and and you become isolated.
It's a constant battle of wanting to explain yourself but not knowing how, especially when people think you're just being dramatic.
Exactly. I tried to run off to the bathroom for a moment of quiet or wear noise-canceling headphones. But the hardest part was actually explaining it to myself and to my friends. How do I tell them that their breathing is too loud without sounding offensive?
It is the minor things that most people don't mind, but others find them very unsettling.
Exactly. Exams are a nightmare, not because of the test itself.
Unless it's physics.
Yeah, no, but actually it's the sounds, it's the noise, it's the paper rustling, it's people writing. My brain can't focus. And even though I know it's part of the environment, the sounds become like a wall I can't get past. And every time I hit that wall, it feels like I failed again.
Or take dyslexia. It's an even more recognized disability, and yet many people with dyslexia still struggle silently. They're not only battling with the content of a test, but also with how their brain processes written language.
Exactly. It's not the content of the test, it's the way the test might look to them. They could be trying twice as hard as everyone else and still feel like they're not trying hard enough.
It is exhausting living in a world that doesn't understand your struggles, constantly having to fight your own body's reactions. And trust me, I didn't always get it either. When Marita first told me about misophonia, I didn't take it seriously. I thought it was just a fancy word for being annoyed all the time. Even when she'd ask to change rooms and try to escape loud environments, I remember thinking that she was just being dramatic and that everyone would appreciate sitting in a calmer place sometimes. But then I understand it. When I saw her freeze in classes just because someone was sticking their pen or breathing way too loudly. When I saw the anxiety she felt when we were in crowded rooms. When I saw the guilt she felt after getting irritated at someone she cares about just because the sounds were too much. And it is something she cannot control. And I realized that as a friend, my job is not to judge, it's to understand.
And he started to do that when he started to listen instead of dismissing. And that's why we're giving this talk together. Because it's not just my story and the story of people with invisible disability, it's ours. It's how friendship and empathy can help lift a weight off your shoulder you didn't even know you were carrying.
Validating their feelings can help so much. When someone is dealing with something no one else can see, It's really easy for others to dismiss their pain. That's why support and empathy are crucial.
Exactly.
What you just saw there was an act of what getting irritated by sounds might do to you.
His breathing was too loud.
What we're trying to achieve here is getting re-welcomed by you guys without judgment.
Exactly. And this isn't just about sounds. For people with ADHD, simply repeating instructions without judgment can be a lifeline. And for someone with misophonia, simply re-welcoming them without judgment or searching off a sound can feel like a massive act of kindness.
It's about showing that you care, even if you don't fully understand what they're going through. Now let's talk about why these conditions are real. Because let's be honest, it's easy to dismiss something you don't see.
But there's scientific evidence to back them up. For example, for someone with ADHD, and it has been really well scientifically documented. For example, the 2017 article published by the American Psychological Association showcased that ADHD is actually related to lower levels of dopamine. And dopamine is the brain's chemical responsible for attention and motivation. So it's not just them being careless or them being lazy, it's actually their brain making the process so much harder.
Or take misophonia, which isn't just about getting irritated by sounds. Research like that of Dr. Jennifer Barreto has shown that individuals with misophonia have abnormal connectivity between the auditory system and the areas of the brain that processes emotions. Dr. Barreto's 2013 study have demonstrated that these individuals have hyperactivity in the central nervous system when exposed to certain sounds.
So this isn't just all in your head. There's actually scientific evidence to back them up.
The difference is that for many people with these invisible disabilities, is that these daily triggers are constant and there is no way to take a break from them.
But what we can do as family and friends is to be compassionate, to be understanding, and to try to be aware.
And if you're not struggling with these conditions, we hope this talk encourages more empathy.
Empathy isn't about having the same experiences as someone else. It's about making room for someone else's.
We didn't pick this topic randomly. It's something that hits close to home for the both of us. And we're sharing it to humanize these struggles and build understanding around them.
So next time someone acts in a way that doesn't make sense to you, don't judge too quickly. Instead, try and ask why.
Because that tiny question can open a big door.
And opening that door could be the first step toward making someone feel seen. Thank you.
Thank you.